Thank you, Michel. Excellence, Monsieur Daniel Kablan-Duncan, Premier ministre, ministre de l'économie et des finances de la Côte d'Ivoire, Mesdames, Messieurs les ministres, Monsieur l'ambassadeur de la Côte d'Ivoire, Monsieur Egapito Diaz, directeur exécutif du groupe de la Banque mondiale, all protocol observers. Good afternoon. I would like to welcome you all to this lunch on investing in Côte d'Ivoire, a prelude to the forum Investing en Côte d'Ivoire 2014 that will take place in Abidjan from the 29th of January to the 1st of February next year. It is a pleasure for me to co-host the lunch with Prime Minister Daniel Kablan-Duncan, a man dedicated to improving the economic situation in his country and the welfare of his people. I have been particularly impressed with Mr. Duncan's personal commitment to improving the business environment in Côte d'Ivoire and with the government's clear vision for the role of the private sector. Indeed, in its national development plan, the private sector is seen as the most important driver of economic recovery. The government itself estimates $20 billion worth of investments are necessary for the country's recovery, and that 60% of it will have to come from private investors. There is a high level of private sector participation in Côte d'Ivoire's most important projects. And you will see that actually this is not new. That's been the framework in this country, their mindset. In the early 1990s, the country privatized its energy sector, which enabled independent power producers to enter the market. For example, Cyprel and Azito Energy, which together today are providing the country with more than half of its electricity. In 1994, the Ivorian government ceded its interest in the palm oil industries to private investors. In 1995, the railway was privatized and Citarail was born. Côte d'Ivoire is one of the most open countries to foreign equity ownership. All of its business sectors are fully open to foreign investment. With the support from the World Bank Group, the government has recently passed a number of significant reforms to improve the investment climate. Since the new government headed by Prime Minister Duncan took over, they have successfully launched new reforms in business registration, construction permit, enforcing contracts, and registering property, to name a few. The Guichet Unique one-stop shop was formally inaugurated by the Prime Minister himself on December 26, 2012. It is housed with CPC, the Ivorian Investment Promotion Agency. All the administrative procedures to set up a business can be done in one place in less than 48 hours. The Commercial Court of Abidjan, which opened in October 2012, offers investors a platform for commercial disputes. My colleagues and I at IFC have first-hand experience doing business in Côte d'Ivoire. Indeed, recently, we have made significant new investment in the country. In the power sector, IFC has put together the $350 million financing for the expansion of the Azito power plant. Out of this, IFC is providing a $125 million loan to Azito Energy. IFC has acted as lead arranger and global coordinator for the 200 million euro expansion of Cyprel. And we are also providing an additional 100 million euro loans. In the agribusiness sector, we are also present. We are an equity investor in Société Ivoirienne de Production Animale, CIPRA, the leader of the Ivorian poultry industry. In the tourism sector, we are providing long-term financing to Compagnie Hôtelière de la Lagune, SA, the Ivorian company of the Azalai Hotels Group. This is a business hotel that should contribute to the revitalization of commercial infrastructure in Abidjan. We also provided funding in international aircraft services, a local transport and logistics company. IFC provided nearly $20 million to BNP Paribas, local subsidiary BCC, to fund new loans to SMEs that were deeply affected by the country's long conflict. IFC's activities are the tip of the iceberg. The pipeline of potential projects is huge. Since 1999, the year of the first coup d'etat, a few large private investments took place. Today, the country has a sizable backlog of projects in its pipeline. Significant investments are necessary to keep pace with one of the fastest growing economies in the region and to respond to the increasing pressure on infrastructure coming from neighboring countries. Many sectors in Côte d'Ivoire are now experiencing unprecedented growth: transport, energy, water, hotels, retail services, food, construction. In infrastructure in particular, the need to increase capacity is enormous. Significant new investments in infrastructure are required to meet the needs of a growing population that public investment cannot satisfy. Côte d'Ivoire needs to expand shipping ports, airports, logistics operations, and to develop new storage and warehouse capacities. Côte d'Ivoire is the world's largest cocoa and cashew exporter, and it is also Sub-Saharan Africa's largest rubber producer, and it needs infrastructure to grow its agricultural production. Côte d'Ivoire has enormous potential also in the mining sector and channeling minerals from neighboring Mali and Burkina. These needs require new investments in infrastructure, railway, roads, bridges, and you name it, all of which will call for heavy investments. Providing, again, as I mentioned earlier, other sizable opportunities to private investors. The South Africa Investor CEO Investment Climate Summit is an excellent venue to introduce the upcoming event in Côte d'Ivoire and whet your appetite. We will watch a short video now before the floor is handed over to Prime Minister Daniel Kablan-Duncan. Thank you.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.